Been a hardcore video gamer since I was a kid. Now I'm collecting complete collections if they're under £5. Nintendo Wii. Hello and welcome once more to VG Trader. And guess what? I'm not just doing a PS3 collection, a complete PS3 collection for £5 or less. Oh no! I'm also starting a Nintendo Wii complete collection for £5 or less. The reason I'm doing this is as follows. I started doing the PS3 collection and I've got a few Nintendo Wii games, but the reason I've got a few Nintendo Wii games, and you're not going to believe this, is because I actually bought a Nintendo Wii, a black one, not just the crappy white one, a black one at a car boot sale for a £5. Yeah, the actual games console was a £5. And it had the additional Wii Move Plus, I think it's called. But it had the additional attachment on the controllers. It was the good version of the Wii. And I picked it up for £5. Now, I was in the car boot sale, because I go to a lot of car boot sales looking for old games and stuff. With my girlfriend, who's not remotely interested in games. She usually goes off and buys rubbish. Absolute rubbish, like expensive antiques that she pays £2 for and are worth like, £1 million. Utter rubbish, waste of time. I, on the other hand, will buy old copies of games for 50p, which we all know is a much better way to spend a Sunday. Anyway, I went up to this stall and I saw this Nintendo Wii and I said, "Excuse me mate, does that games console still work?" And he went, "Oh, I don't think it does, I'm not sure, I don't think it does." And I went, "Oh, I don't know if it's worth bothering about." And I was gonna make an offer. And he said, "No, I've never tried it, to be honest. It was my son's. It's a PlayStation," and it wasn't a PlayStation. It's one of the original PlayStations. It wasn't an original PlayStation. I said, "I don't think it is. I don't think it is, mate. I think it's a Nintendo Wii." And he went, "No, it's a PlayStation. You can have the controllers as well if you want it. You can have it for like a tenner." And I thought to myself, well, you've just told me it doesn't work, so I'm not obviously going to offer you a tenner. But then I thought to myself, if it doesn't work, I can at least trade the controllers in if I offer him a £5 and get my money back. And guess what? I did that. He accepted, took it home, worked first time. 2 controllers, bosh, and a couple of crappy games with it. And, because I got this, I'm, now starting a complete Nintendo Wii collection for £5 or less. I'm gonna do alternate videos. Sometimes I'll do some for the PS3, sometimes I'll do some for the Nintendo Wii, and obviously I'm gonna carry on doing which games will make you rich videos, because I like doing them, and they're a bit different, aren't they? So anyway, the first game I got with the Nintendo Wii, which is probably a game I need, is Zumba Fitness. Yes, and it actually came with the waistband. And no, hang on, let me stand up. As you can probably tell, I've not really been using it. My Zumba hasn't really taken off yet, but at some point I might give it a go. And actually, I think my girlfriend said she'd quite like to try this at some point. So she's a size 10. You'd never believe it because, look at the size of me. But she's actually quite attractive. And yeah, so I'll give that a go at some point. Very far down the line, probably, when I'm like 97. And the other game I got, and it was another fitness game, Family Trainer Extreme Challenge. And it actually came with one of those mats you stand on, a bit like the dance mats. And it's got loads of mini games. I think there's like kitesurfing, and it looks like there's some sort of skydiving things. And yeah, it came with a mat, which really stunk of cheese, so we disinfected it. I don't know if it's going to work now, but at least it just doesn't stink of cheese. And I've stuck it out in the shed, because I'll probably never use the mat. And I'm sure I could pick one up for a couple of quid anyway. Those were the games I got with the console for a £5, so that was quite a good deal, wasn't it? Black Nintendo Wii, the Move extra bits on the controllers, 2 controllers, 2 crappy games, bosh, a £5. Not bad. Other games I've picked up since, and I've picked up quite a few, because at the moment Nintendo Wii games cost nothing in game shops. You can pick them up pre-owned for literally, I wouldn't say pennies, but certainly, sometimes a lot less than £1. And one of the games I picked up for a lot less than £1, I think I paid 10p for this, and it just interested me because I'm into films, was Move Studios Party. Yes, look at look at that. That is the most rubbish Johnny Depp lookalike ever. Yeah, I think this is meant to be sort of like a James Bond character. I don't know what you have to do in this. Take on 10 movie minigames, Live out your film fantasies, up to 4 players can play. Choose your avatar from 8 film stars. Yeah, it does look, to be honest, like shovelware, but you know, it's a film game. How many of them? Not many, are there? There's not many of them around. It's another crappy game. Yeah, so I had a few crappy games, and then I thought I'd go for a game that was a more famous game. So I went for one of the launch, I think it was a launch title, and it was this. Don't miss this action blockbuster, Red Steel. And guess what? I got this thinking, you know, ooh, you can use a samurai sword and guns and stuff. And, you know, you can fight doing that with the controller. And I got it, and guess what? This game sucks. This game really is poo-papa. To make it better, there is a number 2 version of this, and I don't mean even more pooey. I mean, there's a number 2 version where they fix the controls, and it's a lot better, apparently. But I don't think I've got that one yet. So yeah, I'm going to try and pick that one up. I say I don't think I've got it yet. I've picked up so many games recently, I've kind of lost track of what I've got and what I haven't. So I need to do some sort of database. Right, and the next game I picked up is Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games. You know, there's a lot of these Sonic and Mario games at the Olympics. It's usually sort of loads of mini games, but they're actually quite good fun. So yeah, very good family game if you've got little kids. Or if you've just got a man living in your house, like my girlfriend has, who just doesn't grow up. Also, along the same thing, by the people that, by the Sonic team, who, you know, obviously made Sonic, is this, Knights. I think it originally came out on the Dreamcast or the Saturn, and I think it's a remake of that, and you can kind of fly through the air, and it's, I wouldn't really call it a shooting game, but it does involve some shooting elements. It's a bit trippy. Obviously it's called Knight's Journey into Dreams, so it's quite a trippy game, but the graphics are absolutely beautiful in it. And yeah, if you can find a copy at the moment, this is only, I think I paid £2 for this one, but I know this is going to go up in price dramatically. So if you can track this one down, if you've got a Nintendo Wii and you collect, I would, because this is going to be a very, very collectible game, and it isn't Tat. Next one is Tat. It's Battle of the Bands. Yeah. It's, you know, I suppose I could say it's a sort of Guitar Hero rock band style rip-off with some sort of mini games. Match the beat and launch your attack, 17 musical weapons and attacks. Enter into the world of musical combat where your rhythm, skills and weapon instruments are your tools for domination. Battle with opponents for the ultimate band supremacy. It's by THQ. They've gone bust. Yeah, they went bust because they made this You Draw thing. And to be honest, I was really sad to hear they'd gone bust because they made some of my favourite games. And they made the Saints Row games, which I loved. So I'm really hoping someone's bought the Saints Row IP franchise thing, and there will be more Saints Row games in the future. And also, they've done some quite good wrestling games, even though I'm not a big fan. THQ were a really good company, so it was sad, but Battle of the Bands is not one of their best ones. Prince of Persia, Rival Swords. I love the Prince of Persia games on the PS2. I haven't played this one yet, but I'm guessing it's the same sort of thing. I suppose you could say it's Ubisoft's sort of version of a Tomb Raider game. Very similar thing, running, jumping, grabbing older things, you know, doing somersaults and sort of killing stuff. I think you've got a sword and stuff like that. I haven't played this one. 2 swords and very Tomb Raider-ish if you haven't played it. You know, if you like Tomb Raider, you'll probably like it, so give it a go. Samba de amigo. Yes, Samba de Amigo is a rhythm game with maracas, and you can actually get Nintendo maracas for this. I can't remember what system this originally came out on, but I used to have the maracas for it. It was really good fun, so I'm going to try and track down some maracas for this version, just so I can play it properly. It's a really good party game if you can ever get hold of it and get hold of the maracas cheaply, but I'm guessing the maracas will probably cost a fortune. This 50p. I bet the maracas are like, you know, 30 quid. Now, obviously I can't go over a fiver. Cursed Mountain. It's a survival horror game. Guess where it's set? At a bus stop. No, I'm lying. It's on a cursed mountain, obviously. And yeah, it's supposed to be quite good. Haven't played it yet. Gonna play it eventually once I get through the mountain of games that I'm buried under at the moment. Onwards and downwards to Link's crossbow training. If you played any of the Zelda games, you'll know who Link is. But this one isn't a proper Zelda game. It's literally just a shooting game with the, you know, controller. And I think you might even be able to track down some sort of attachment. No, there's no attachment for it. You can use the Wii Zapper in your hands like a crossbow, blah, blah, blah. I'll put it up there. Yeah, see, it's just one of these sort of light gun style games. with Link's little face. Metroid Prime Free Corruption. If you played any of the Metroid games, you know exactly what they are. You can roll around as a boy, you can shoot stuff. You're kind of a lady in a suit, but you very rarely take the suit off. I'll have to give it a go. Haven't played it. Onwards. Another shooting game which is supposed to be absolutely amazing. And look, it's a special edition. Oh, see how it dazzles. Look at the beautiful extra things, such as this special hints and tips guide. I love special editions. Honestly, if I see a special edition in a shop, I'm drawn to it like a fly to a light bulb. Even better was the fact that this one was $2.99 when I got it. I don't know how much it is now. It's probably gone down a penny or two. No, it might have gone up. But yeah, this is supposed to be absolutely amazing. And again, it's by Sega, one of my favourite developers. I'm going to give that a go soon. And there is also the Conduit 2, and they are shooting games, blah, blah, blah. If you like shooting games, you'll like it. I'm not a big fan, but that is supposed to be particularly good. Now, one of the best games on the Nintendo Wii is Zack and Weki. I have actually had a go at this one. This is, without a doubt, I think probably the best game I've played so far on the Nintendo Wii. And I haven't played any of the Super Mario Galaxy games, or I haven't played the Mario Kart for the Wii yet. Mainly because I'm obviously trying to track them down for a $5 each. And Super Smash Brothers again. You know, it's hard to track that for a $5 unless you can get it at a car boot sale. But this, I actually think this was £4. This is going to be a very rare game eventually. It's a sort of puzzle game. If you like puzzle games, you will fall in love with this game. Buy it. I can't say anything other than that, really. Yes, Spyborgs. I haven't played this one. What does it say? Take control of the Spyborgs in furious single-player gameplay, or join forces with a friend in two-player drop-in, drop-out action. Blast, punch, and slash away through a robotic army to hunt down your crazed nemesis before he takes over the world. Why do people always want to take over the world in video games? Because to be honest, let's be honest about this. If you did take over the world, it's a lot of stress, isn't it? Okay, so you've got power, but then you've got to, you know, think about taxes. You can't let everyone starve. Obviously, it doesn't really matter if you're in charge, does it? Because, you know, obviously, you being in charge and everyone being dead, well, you're not really in charge of anything, are you? So then you'd obviously have to set up a government and forms of education, because you don't want all your people to be troglodytes. And, you know, obviously some sort of national health service. And, you know, if they actually made a realistic game where you did take over the world, to be honest, it would be very depressing. So, you know, please, games companies, never do it. Maybe just stick to these. So it's a sort of beat 'em up game. It's supposed to be really good. I'll give that a go over the summer holidays. Next one, and this is the final one I'm going to be showing today. No More Heroes 2 Desperate Struggle. Now this has got brilliant reviews. It's got 9 out of 10 from Games Radar, 9 out of 10 from Endgamer, and 8.8 out of 10 from IGN. The first No More Heroes game is by Suda51. What can I say? You play a bloke who's got guns and a sword, and he swears a lot, and you know, chop up a lot of evil people. And it's really good, and there's lots of women in short skirts, and you know, fly around the city, and there's motorbikes and bits and bobs that look really cool, and you know, it's every bloke's fantasy. And you play a bloke called Travis. I've just seen his name. I haven't got the first game of this, which is also supposed to be good, but this one's supposed to be better, and this one is, you know, brilliant. Yeah, if you can track this down. That's it for my first episode of my complete Nintendo Wii collection for £5 or less. Join me again soon for more as I pick up more games for the collection. I've actually got a few more over there, so, you know, another video is on the way very soon. Just don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more. Cheers. Bye!